Wrestling this match, I want you to say for Chris Daniels, Stevie Knight, you ain't got the wrestling ability to be in the same ring as my guy.
Let me prove just how great I am. Take a look at what's hot and what's not.
UWA Chairman Mick McManus added a stipulation to the match between the Anarchist and the Fallen Angel, which could have severe consequences for the 10-man TV title tournament.
If he doesn't beat him, then he's got to start from scratch. He's got to wrestle number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth and so on.
You want to see some heavy stuff? We're going to be here.
Hello and welcome to another edition of UWA Wrestling Rampage. It's Judgment Day for the Anarchist Doug Williams. There's a lot on the line as he gets set to face the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. Plus, in this hour, we'll see the Wonder Kid, Johnny Storm, take on Jason Cross. Mad Dog McPhee gets unleashed in a scrapyard.
No lights, no cameras, no fuss. The way the Mad Dog likes it, and you're going to see what the Mad Dog does best.
But right now, get set for 2 Titanic tag teams as the Death Squad get set to face Alex Shane and Leon Murphy.
Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to UWA Wrestling Rampage. With me at ringside, as always, is Steve Morgan as we see Alex Shane and Leon Murphy make their way to the ring.
Kenny, can I say what a pleasure it is to be sat alongside you once again for more UWA Wrestling Rampage. Kenny McBride, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best commentators in the business, a gentleman and a man of impeccable personal hygiene.
Well, thank you, I think, Steve. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Mad Dog McPhee training in a very unusual way. We've got the Welsh sensation Jason Cross versus the arrogant young Johnny Storm, and that all-important match between the Anarchist Doug Williams and the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. And I think we've got pre-recorded comments from Alex Shane and Leon Murphy here.
Facing the Death Squad tonight, they're a very experienced tag team. How have you prepared about tonight?
Well, Jamila, at the end of the day, my preparation is this. Number 1, I'm the most talented wrestler in the UWA. Number 2, I'm the most charismatic. And number 3, we just asked Jamila, I'm the best looking. So at the end of the day, in a day and age where sex sells, I'm going to show you what good looks are all about. Tell them, Leon.
Well, Alex, to tell you the truth, I really don't care about good looks. I'm an ugly man, and the thing is, you can't make me any uglier, so you can hit me as hard as you like, as many times. I'm still tougher than you.
You are an ugly man. Do you know, Kenny, he went to see the Elephant Man at the cinema and he was signing autographs for 2 hours afterwards. That's ugly.
Well, anyway, here come the Death Squad, the terrifying, monstrous Death Squad with the tiny girls. And we know that this is going to be a high-impact tag team match, Steve.
Absolutely. I've got to tell you, I'm a big fan of the Death Squad and, of course, the tiny girls. There they are, delightful pair. And a nice couple of girls as well. Now, these boys, I think, are a match for Leon and Alex. I've got to tell you, I think they're going to make mincemeat of them.
I think they may be more than a match. We've seen already the Death Squad, a terrifying combination. We saw them take out Paul Terrell and Steve Morocco just a couple of weeks ago. And with the tiny girls at ringside to distract that ladies' man, Alex Shane, who knows what damage they might do tonight.
Yeah, they're getting a warm reception from the crowd here as well. A lot of young fans there. That's good to see, isn't it? That they've got role models like that. Who are your role models, Kenny?
Well, they're certainly not these pair. These pair are just street fighters, brawlers, call them what you will. Mad Mark Myers, of course, is just that. He's mad.
I can't believe you're saying that, Kenny. I can't believe you're saying that. What about the tiny girls? Are you a fan of those?
I think any red-blooded male would be, Steve.
Absolutely. Well, you've got that one right there, Kenny, and I can't wait to see the Iron Duke there back in the ring and dishing it out the only way he knows how. I can't believe that. The Death Squad sucks. What are these Philistines on about?
Well, the fans can think what they want about this match, Steve, but we've got an even bigger match coming up later on in the show as the Anarchist takes on the Fallen Angel for that 10th spot in the 10-man TV title tournament.
Absolutely, it really is blood or glory there for the Anarchist. He's got to win He has to win that contest.
That's right, Steve. Everything's at stake in that match, and we'll see later on in tonight's show just who's going to take that 10th spot.
Well, here we are again. And what do you know? We've brought us a bigger tag team. And you know what that means? That means there's going to make a bigger bang when they hit the canvas. Because that's the only result of this evening's games, ladies and gentlemen. So, once again, if you can excuse me, it's time for us to go to work.
Down to business now, Iron Duke. Down to business.
As always, he says it. It's time for them to go to work. And that's how they see it. They just see themselves going into the ring, doing their job, and getting out. Just getting in there and kicking some, well.
You don't have to say it, Kenny.
I want to try and keep my language clean. It is a family show here. We see Alex Shane, very arrogant. Bit of a ladies' man, I think, there, Steve.
Why, do you find him attractive or something, Kenny?
No, Steve, I said a ladies' man.
Well, exactly.
This match gets underway there. Mark Myers taking over, big arm lock, and Alex Shane reverses it here in the early going.
I've got to ask you, Kenny, what the hell is Alex wearing in there? Those pants, why doesn't he wear something practical, like bathers?
Well, I guess he just wants to show off. I mean,
he's too flash for his own good, Kenny. I've got to tell you that. Way too flash. I actually read a few weeks ago in a popular daily paper that he claimed he was a male escort. Can you believe that, Kenny?
Well, I'm not sure I can believe it, but I guess you would know better than me about male escorts, Steve.
I forget you said that, Kenny.
Okay, Alex Shane getting back up to his feet there. Leon Murphy in the ring now with Mark Myers. Leon Murphy, a completely different wrestler from Alex Shane. They're really like chalk and cheese, these two. You see from his black trunks, the short hair, he's all business in the ring. He doesn't have any of the ego that Alex Shane's got.
The tiny girls there, they're admiring Alex's leather pants, or at least someone likes them, because I think they are hideous.
Well, the tiny girls, I mean, who knows what they're doing out there? They've got Alex Shane off the apron now. He should really be up there waiting for the tag from Leon Murphy. But he's distracted by the tiny girl.
They're not distracting him, they're just admiring his trousers, and he was just telling them where he got them. I think it was in a sale, discount, spring-summer collection.
Well, Steve, Leon Murphy is taking a beating, but where's Alex Shane? He's out on the floor with the tiny girls.
Well, don't you know he's back up there now? If I was him, I would have stayed down there with the tiny girls. Why he wants to go back with Leon? He's enough to make onions cry, that ugly mug.
Well, that's it. We saw Iron Duke Lynch there taunting Alex Shane, but if Alex had been there a little bit sooner, then he would have got the tag. The tiny girls causing a big distraction. They're a bigger part of the Death Squad's game plan than a lot of people would have thought.
They're just offering a bit of support that's needed, Kenny.
But here, Leon, a big body slam on Iron Duke Lynch. Now standing on him. But Murphy with a cover now. 1, 2. And Iron Duke Lynch kicks out. Leon Murphy really getting back into this match with Alex Shane still out there looking at the tiny girls for half the time.
Well, can you blame him?
Drop toe hold and a big leg drop off the ropes from Alex Shane there. Alex giving himself a little round of applause. Again, that ego just shining through. He's playing to the tiny girls.
I think that's something else shining through, but that's better left.
Alex Shane now ascends to the top turnbuckle. He's dangerous from up here. Big
yes, trying to show off there, Kenny, in front of the tiny girls. He tried to impress them with that move, but it didn't come off.
Going for that big cannonball dive, he missed it. I think, yeah, you're right. His attention is too much on the tiny girls. And here comes Mark Myers. They're setting up now for the Sheffield Hammer. We've seen them finish people with this before.
Not yet.
But they're not going for the cover. Mark Myers picks Alex Shane back up. He wants to dish out a bit more punishment.
Well, Alex Shane is there for the taking now. It's just a matter of time, Ken.
I think you might be right, Steve, and I think Mark Myers knows it too. As he picks Alex Shane up again. Oh, but Alex Shane with a low blow there, taking Mark Myers down. Oh my, and a snap there. What's Alex Shane going for here? Trying to
he did it again!
He missed. And
now they've got to finish him off. Now he has to be finished off.
3, that's it. Alex Shane trying to do that fancy move, that flip move off the second rope, play into the tiny girls, but his judgment just wasn't there. He had his eye on the ladies, and he lost the match because of it. But Mark Myers going to work now after the match.
No, it's
huge powerbomb on Alex Shane.
That is fair actually. It's because Alex said something unkind about his bathers. Something about you should get a pair of pants like these.
Well, I don't know about that, but Mad Mark Myers just unstoppable. Iron Duke Lynch having to drag him away from the ring here.
Now, Kenny, you would do the same if anyone else said something about your underwear, wouldn't you?
And Mark Myers again going after Leon Murphy this time, and Alex Shane. Both of them, a huge brawl on the floor here. What? Somebody has to try and learn to control Mark Myers.
Let's have a look at that move, though. Let's just see how Alex Shane lost the fight.
Here we see Alex Shane going up, springboards off the second rope, flips down, but Mark Myers moved. Alex Shane holding his head as Mark Myers
and the tiny girls there
went
laughing.
For the big leg drop and the cover. That's right, the tiny girls laughing, all in the plan, all along.
And there they go, the Death Squad all the way from Sheffield. They've walked away here with victory, and a well-deserved one at that.
It's
Alex Shane there, just more concerned about his pants.
The tiny girl certainly having an impact on Alex Shane and possibly on the outcome of that match. Still to come, we'll see Jason Cross take on the Wonder Kid, Johnny Storm. And it's all on the line for Doug Williams when he faces the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. Welcome back to UWA Rampage, and as we get closer and closer to that big match between the anarchist Doug Williams and the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, let's take a look at another of the athletes represented by Steve Linsky. It's Mad Dog McPhee, and he's preparing for that UWA TV title tournament in his own unique way. Paul Martin's on the scene, and let's take you there right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You join us here in a scrapyard. But we're not here to scrap cars, we're here to scrap bodies, because the manager Steve Linsky has made a sensational match between Mad Dog McPhee and Tom Monroe. Steve, tell us about it.
Well, let me tell you something right now. This is going to be the biggest match outside of the wrestling tournament. This is just a warm-up for my Mad Dog McPhee for the 10-man tournament. He's going to rip this Tommy Monroe to shreds. And I know Tommy Monroe is a big bare-knuckle fighter. Mad Dog's gonna walk through him because that's what he is. He's a mad dog.
Steve, tell us why. Why are we here in a scrapyard? Why not in a ring? Tell us about that.
Well, it's like I say, this is a warm-up match for my man. This is how he works best. No atmosphere, no lights, no cameras. You know, this is how he warms up. And I've got a few people who are interested in the outcome of this match.
When you say interested, what sort of interest have you got in this, Steve?
What's my always interest? The almighty dollar.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Dinero, Steve Linsky, a scrapyard. Let's get it on.
The following contest takes place under UWA no-holds-barred rules. In other words, if you don't like your wrestling dirty and dangerous, come back in 10 minutes.
Well, Steve, this is it. Something completely unique in the world of wrestling. A no-holds-barred scrapyard match. As we see there, UWA officials Dino Scarlo and Sorsha on the right. And this gentleman in the blue suit, I don't know who he is, Steve.
Well, I've no idea either, but I've got to tell you, Kenny, I'm just relieved that we are watching this from the comfort and safety of a studio rather than actually at the event, because I've got to tell you, this looks nasty, Kenny. It looks as if this is a wrestling match for men rather than boys.
Right, boys. I think you know why we're here. And I think you know the rules.
That's right, wrestling fans. This is a no-holds-barred match.
And please remember, you live life once, and as St. Francis Bacon said, in the theatre of man's life, it is reserved only for God and angels to be lookers-on. Unless one of your sons is called Jesus. I think you know the script here, boys. Okay.
That was Dino Scarlo with some rather philosophical words to Mad Dog and Steve Linsky there.
Well, I think, Kenny, you get to see now the brilliance of a manager like Steve Linsky. He knows this is the best way to get Mad Dog primed and hungry and blooded for that 10-man tournament. And it comes down to the simple fact that Steve Linsky is the manager out there prepared to take risks. And at the end of the day, he's going to be a winner because of it.
Well, Steve, I don't call it genius putting one of your top wrestlers into a match with a near 300-pound man who's carrying a big stick.
He knows all that, Kenny. He's taken all these considerations into account. And if you know better, why aren't you managing Mad Dog instead of sat here commentating and blathering on?
Well, I'm not managing Mad Dog because I don't think I'm capable of controlling this man as he goes with those big knee lifts. Big knees into the abdomen there. We saw him break Phil Power's ribs with those just a couple of weeks ago. And here, going with them again, another big knee lift. Throwing Monroe down. This really is a brutal match. And again, Steve, how can it be genius to put your man in such a dangerous match, such a match laden with risks of injury, right before one of the biggest matches of his career, that 10-man match for the UWA TV title?
Because fighting in the ring after this is going to be like a walk in the park. This is going to be possibly the hardest contest he's ever had, but when he comes up in the ring, he's going to be ready, and he's going to find it a breeze, Kenneth.
Well, I don't know, Steve Linsky seems to be taking a lot on, what with his big match with Doug Williams and the Fallen Angel later on today, and this incredible, insane match here in the scrapyard.
Well, I just wonder what Mick McManus would say about all this, because after all, as you know, his word is law.
Well, yeah, Mick McManus, he seems to have given Dino Scarlo a lot of latitude in how he takes care of what he's got to take care of in the UWA. But this gentleman that Dino's brought with him to the match, he doesn't belong in the UWA, and I don't know what he's doing here. Is there something going on that we don't know about, Steve?
Well, I don't know, but it is a great test of endurance here, set up by Steve Linsky.
That's right, big
for Mad Dog. It is a great test of endurance, but remember, kids, don't try it at home.
Kids, nobody try this at home. This is incredible, insane stuff from these two guys. I really can't imagine why anybody would want to get involved with this match. Steve Linsky said his motivation was money, but where's that money coming from? There's no paying fans here.
Well, it's also for the best intention of the wrestler. He's got that TV tournament in mind, and this is how he's doing it. Who is that guy?
I don't know, Steve. Hopefully we'll find that out in the weeks to come, as Mad Dog with a great dive there off that pile of rubbish onto Tom Monroe. Tom Monroe now on the floor, covered in dirt, stones, gravel embedded in his back. Now, as we said earlier, this match can only end when one of these men declares himself unable to continue. And I can't see either of these men saying, I can't go on, I'm not strong enough.
I tell you what though, Kenny, just look at those wrestlers now. They are drained. They are...
Oh my God, let's see if we can take another look at that. Yep. As I thought there, Tommy Monroe actually managed to get his fists up to break that breeze block. So a trick he's done in strongman competitions before, because otherwise I don't think he could have survived that, Steve. That was a breeze block aimed at his head.
I do actually salute his skill in blocking that one there.
And now here he goes with
that would have been nasty,
Kenny. He's choking him with that plank of wood. This is horrible, Steve.
But as I said earlier, Kenny, both wrestlers are pretty shattered. They look exhausted. This is a test of wrestling ability and endurance, as I said before.
That's it. It's all about how tough these men are. Is Tommy Monroe slipping about?
I think that was an oil patch. Dino Scarlo don't care.
So Dino Scarlo with some kind of signal there to his associate in the car. Don't know what that's about. Like I say, fans, we're going to try and find out. We'll hopefully get some news to you in the coming weeks about what that gentleman's purpose is here. Tom Monroe's just a mess now. Mad Dog really seems to have taken over on him, and he's going up onto the car. What's he doing up there?
Well, as you say, Tom Monroe is finished now, and it's up to Mad Dog to seal victory. But how is he going to finish this fight? How is he going to finish him
up onto the car? What's he going to do up here? Kicks him low. Sets him up. Knees front pile driver on top of the car, Steve.
I wouldn't mind, Kenny, but that's my car.
Oh my. Surely that has to be it for Tommy Monroe.
Well, you would think so. Look at him. The man is drained.
No more.
He's waving his hands. He's saying he's had enough. And let's have another quick look at that awesome pile driver. Here he is. He sets him up on top of the car. Lifts him up. He's got no room to sit back, so he goes knees first, driving Tom Monroe's head into the car.
Well, Dino Scarlo there looking on.
Sorsha goes over to check out Tom Monroe. Tom Monroe's conscious, but only just after that incredible, brutal match. And once again, folks, please don't try this at home.
And of course, Steve Linsky, the brilliant manager, we will see later on with that great fight. The fallen angel, Christopher Daniels, takes on the anarchist, Doug Williams. It's win or die in that one.
Mad Dog McPhee there, certainly living up to the front part of his name in what was truly a brutal contest. Still to come, however, right here on this program, the Fallen Angel and Doug Williams in that all-important match. But up next, Jason Cross takes it to Johnny Storm. Welcome back to UWA Rampage. Now, last week, controversial manager Steve Linsky made no secret of the fact that he thought Hot Stuff Stevie Knight was not a worthy opponent for the anarchist Doug Williams. Steve Linsky said he wanted to save Doug Williams for a match against the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. As I'm sure you know by now, Mick McManus has added certain stipulations to that match. The one person we haven't heard from on the subject is Doug Williams. Let's take you to him right now.
Just to clear up a few points about Steve Linsky and him pulling me out of the Stevie Knight match. I was pretty annoyed with Steve Linsky, to be honest, when he first pulled me out. But then I saw the disruption it caused to the UWA officials, and I was laughing and laughing. I mean, that's what it's all about. Chaos, disruption, mayhem. But then I went down to the ring and I watched Christopher Daniels perform, and I thought, yes, I can beat you quite easily and I'll get that 10th spot. Because when I watched you, you weren't that impressive. So anyway, Christopher Daniels, I'll beat you 1, 2, 3 and advance into the elimination tournament number 10. And I will win that TV title.
That match between the anarchist Doug Williams and the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, with so much on the line, still to come right here on this program. Right now, however, let's get back to ringside, where Jason Cross, the man who came so close to defeating Tiger Mask a couple of weeks ago, is about to take on Johnny Storm.
And Steve, here we are getting ready for another great match as the Welsh superstar Jason Cross takes on the arrogant young wonder kid Johnny Storm.
Well, he's certainly popular with the crowd there, and he looked psyched up for this one, actually.
Well, yeah, we saw him just a couple of weeks ago in that great match with Tiger Mask, which he lost by such a narrow margin.
He was unlucky in that one, actually. Kenny was unlucky, but here he is now. Oh, he's just ignored that kid. He's slapped hands with everyone else, apart from that kid in the red T-shirt. Jason, come back! How could you?
Well, I think it was an honest mistake, Steve. But Tiger Mask there, we saw him beat Jason a couple of weeks ago, and we'll see him in a big non-title match against fellow MPW superstar Gran Naniwa next week here on UWA Wrestling Rampage.
Hustle! Well, that's next week, Kenny, but I can't wait for that Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels match against the anarchist Doug Williams. This is the match we've been waiting for.
Well, that's right, Steve. That should be a great, great match. And of course, as we know, so much hangs on that with that 10-man tournament coming up.
Absolutely.
When lightning strikes twice, it's Johnny Storm.
Steve, the Wonder Kid, Johnny Storm.
I can't see him. I think he's lost in all that smoke. I think there actually has been a storm. There he is. Yes, another one from the Steve Linsky stable.
But Steve Linsky not here. Once again, Steve, we're seeing that Steve Linsky is preoccupied with Doug Williams and the fallen angel Christopher Daniels.
He's not preoccupied at all, not preoccupied. He's got a lot on his plate and he can't be everywhere at once. He was in a scrapyard 10 minutes ago, now you want him here.
Well, I think he's concentrating far too much on Doug Williams. I think his other wrestlers in his stable are going to be very, very upset by this. But anyway, here comes Johnny Storm, an arrogant young superstar, but one with limitless potential.
Lovely to see a bit of banter there with the crowd. They love it as well.
Let's just hope he doesn't start a riot, Steve. As he gets into the ring, young Johnny Storm posing on the apron. Jason Cross, very old-fashioned kind of wrestler, very traditional, and I don't think all Johnny Storm's showboating here will really appeal to Jason Cross very much. Jason would much rather Johnny would shut his mouth and get in the ring and wrestle. Johnny Storm there, just not really interested. He's going to the outside of the ring now. He's just not interested in having the fight here, is he?
He's not wasting time at all. He's just left something in the dressing room, that's all. That's all, don't worry.
Johnny Storm seems to be leaving. No, maybe not. Maybe he's coming back now.
Or maybe, Ken, he doesn't want to fight Jason Cross. Maybe he just wants to get back in the crowd and watch that Anarchist and Fallen Angel match.
Well, certainly, I've heard that there's a crowd gathering in the locker room already round the monitor, just so that they can watch that match coming up as well. It's going to be an incredible match, and we're all looking forward to it here.
It's going to be an absolute corker, and for the benefit of the boys and girls at home, Kenneth, tell us just how important this fight is.
Well, this match between the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels and the Anarchist Doug Williams, the winner will go into the 10-man TV title tournament in last position. The loser of the match will go in number 1 and will have to beat all other 9 men if he is to take the TV title.
Everything hinges upon the fight against Christopher Daniels for the Anarchist Doug Williams.
But Jason Cross has had enough here. He's got a hold of Johnny Storm and he's taken him for a little tour around ringside. And while I know this is all illegal, I can't help but think that Johnny Storm deserves it. He needs to be taught a lesson here, I think, by Jason Cross.
You can see the tears welling up in his eyes there, Kenny.
Yes, you can. I think every man in the building knows how that one feels. Here, he whips, but Johnny Storm reverses it, and Jason goes ribs first into that table. That'll leave a mark. Jason head first into the rail now.
Johnny Storm just getting into his stride now.
That's right. Johnny Storm, of course, will be one of the other competitors in that 10-man tournament later on, along with Phil Powers, Danny Royal, Kerry Cabrero, Mad Dog McPhee, Steve Knight, Paul Sloan, Big Papa T, and of course, Christopher Daniels and Doug Williams. As Johnny on the second rope now. What's he going for? Asanari moonsault! Unbelievable maneuver! Flying from the second rope with a backflip onto Jason Cross, who was on the floor.
Jason Cross looks shell-shocked. Let's have another look at that because it was spectacular.
There is an incredible maneuver. Great elevation coming from the second turnbuckle on the outside. Asanaro moonsault onto Jason Cross on the floor. Unbelievable move from this wonder kid. Jason coming up from behind though. Big European uppercut. And kicks now. Johnny Storm, he's got a lot of flash, but Jason appears to have the more basic skills needed to sustain his... And here... Oh! What's Big Papa T doing out here? Big Papa T does not belong out here during this match. What's he doing in the ring?
Of course he belongs in the ring.
Attacks Jason Cross. What's going on?
He belongs in the ring. Come on, Papa T.
No, Big Papa T is not supposed to be here.
He just wants to get out and
fight.
He just wants to get out and fight. He's not being given the opportunity to get out and fight. And now he wants to get in there and do his job. Kenny, can you not see,
Big Papa T's got that double chicken wing lock on there. Nobody gets out of one of Big Papa T's submission holds. And you cannot imagine the pain that this is inflicting on Jason Cross's shoulders. This is... Somebody
all the UWA officials are coming.
Here come all our officials. Jason Cross just... Sorry, Johnny Storm just sneaking away there while no one was looking. He was lucky, really, that Big Papa T didn't get a hold of him. Big Papa T now
sensational stuff
doing his little dance.
Papa T.
Rebecca's out at ringside. Don't know what's going on there.
Well, she's going to start wrestling, and she's being manhandled there by a UWA official. And if Papa T gets wind of that, it's going to turn very ugly indeed, Kenny.
Well, Rebecca does not belong here. Big Papa T does not belong here.
How can you say that? He wants to get out and fight, do his job. He's not being given the opportunity to do that, so he has to go to drastic measures such as that.
Let's see if we can get another look at this as Rebecca fights with our officials on the way back there.
Papa T just comes in.
Big Papa T from behind with a big forearm. They go, Jason gets a few punches in, but then Big Papa T hits him low and locks on the double chicken wing submission maneuver. And there's no way Jason can escape from this. This is an incredible maneuver.
And you're right there, Kenny, because Johnny Storm is just glad he wasn't there.
Papa T, definitely a law unto himself. His motives unclear to all of us. One person who might know is Rebecca. She's with Jamila right now.
Hi, I've got with me Rebecca, who is Big Papa T's manager. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
Why did Big Papa T attack Jason Cross and Johnny Storm?
Because he is not receiving enough matches. I mean, the UWA, I don't know what their game is. It is absolutely pathetic. The treatment of Big Papa T, the very best wrestler in the world, it's absolutely disgusting. And these Neanderthal brain-dead wrestlers jumping around the wrestling ring as if it's a pig pen, it's disgusting.
There we go, hard words from Rebecca. Thank you.
We'll have to see how UWA officials respond to Big Papa T's demands. But up next, it's the anarchist Doug Williams as he gets set to face the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. Welcome back. UWA Rampage rolls on, and this is it. This is the match we've been waiting for. The anarchist Doug Williams has a lot to prove now going into this match against the fallen angel Christopher Daniels from the United States. Doug Williams refused to wrestle Stevie Knight, preferring to accept this more high-profile match, or at least that's how his manager Steve Linsky described it. Mick McManus said, "That's fine, you wrestle whoever you want, but if you do not beat the fallen angel, you will enter the TV title tournament in first position, meaning you will have to beat all other 9 competitors if you want to get that championship gold." So a lot on the line here for Doug Williams as we get back to ringside and see how he faces the fallen angel.
And this is it, Steve Morgan. This is the match we've been waiting for. As here we see the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels, coming out to the ring for his death or glory match with the anarchist, Doug Williams.
Viewers at home, I can tell you that our commentary box here is ripe with anticipation for this match as the crowd there welcome the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels, who looks like a male stripper in my book with that get-up.
Well, I think the idea is that he looks more like some kind of religious figure. This imagery that Chris Daniels uses coming to the ring, strange, but his mind games seem to work.
Well, the last week, and here he is preaching now, you described this man as Beelzebub.
Shut your mouth, punk. It's time for all you goofy, limey Brits to make noise for God's gift to professional wrestling. Now,
well, I've got to tell you, Kenny, that I, Steve Morgan, am outraged that he is being so disrespectful to the nation that he fights in now at the moment. Those English people, the British people, there's Scotsmen there as well, I can imagine, Kenny, and he is disgracing them all.
I said it's simple, love. You see, Davey is from Britain, and there aren't any real men in Great Britain.
What? Bring out the anarchist! Bring him out now!
Anarchist! Your manager, Steve Linsky, has arranged for you to have a date with the angel. But it's not going to be a dream date. it's going to be your worst nightmare. So my advice to you, son, say your prayers.
Well, a frightening speech there from the Fallen Angel.
I'm disgusted, Kenneth. Disgusted. I want to see that smirk wiped right off his face here.
Pandemonious 214 pounds. It's the Anarchist, Doug Williams.
Well, we all know, Steve, what a big fan you are of Doug Williams, and more importantly, what a fan you are of his manager, Steve Linsky, who is an American as well.
Well, he is an American, but he's courteous, he's polite, he's been brought up well, Kenneth, that's the difference. But I desperately want to see the Anarchist, Doug Williams, get in there now and do his job against this Yank.
No, Steve. Steve Linsky is rude, obnoxious, self-centered,
You've no evidence
arrogant.
You've no evidence for that.
I've seen him every week on TV here for the last 3 weeks.
Kenneth, he's a perfect gentleman, impeccable manners, wonderful dress sense. Someone you do well to follow, actually.
Well, Steve, you're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine, and I think Steve Linsky is a disgrace to our sport.
Surely, for once, Kenneth, you and I can be united here against the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. Weren't you shocked? Weren't you outraged by his comments earlier?
Well, I don't like Chris Daniels either. I do think he's a tremendous athlete, but I don't think that he's a nice man. But I don't think that Steve Linsky really has any business out here at all. What I would like to see is Chris Daniels and Doug Williams have the great wrestling match that I know they can. But we all know that with Steve Linsky at ringside, that's almost certainly not going to happen.
Well, why have you got a nitpick? Where's your national pride, for God's sake? Don't devolve on me like the rest of your nation.
As we go with some nice chain wrestling here in the opening. Doug flipping over there. Ducks underneath. Rolls back. What's this? Head scissors. Takes Christopher Daniels over with a great head scissors there.
There's more of the same for you, Daniels.
And if Doug can keep that kind of momentum up, then he could be taking that 10th spot in the TV title tournament. And if he does, then that TV title is as good as his.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. It is a case here in this match of winner takes all.
Absolutely. And right here, we'll be seeing it in 2 weeks, that 10-man tournament. Taking part in that tournament, Phil Powers, Danny Royal, Kerry Cabrero, Mad Dog McPhee, Doug Williams, Christopher Daniels, Steve Knight, Paul Sloan, Johnny Storm, and Big Papa T to decide the first ever TV champion of the UWA. And we'll be seeing that title defended at the Blackpool Ice Arena in June.
I can't wait, Kenny, but you are absolutely right when you say the man who enters in that 10th position has got it all sewn up.
Well, you would have to think so, and either of these two guys, we know how talented they are, and I'm quite sure that if they take that 10th spot, they'll walk into the champion role. We see them here working over each other's arms. Doug, of course, we saw last week scouting the Fallen Angel against Danny Royal. Very close match, great match last week. But, and Doug seems to have taken something from that. He seems to know a little bit more about Chris Daniels than Chris Daniels knows about him. But Chris Daniels with a great big spine buster there.
And what's Linsky doing applauding the Fallen Angel?
Well, Steve, he's an American. I think he
I can't believe what I'm seeing
I
here.
think a touch of nationalism there from Steve Linsky. He can't help but see the talent of the American.
God, sometimes I wonder if I'm the only Englishman in the room.
Well, you are.
Look at him! What's he doing? Someone I admired, someone I respected as a businessman, as a manager, as a Svengali, to some of the best up-and-coming wrestlers in the UWA.
Well,
I can only think, Kenny, just not wanting to interrupt you there, Kenny, but I can only think it could be reverse psychology.
Well, it could be. It could be. We just don't know. With Steve Linsky, that devious mind of his, you never know what he's planning to do next.
You say devious, I say brilliant. Let's call the whole thing off.
Chris Daniels with a great suplex there. 1, 2, and Doug Williams kicks out again. Steve Linsky now slapping the mat, trying to get his boy riled up, trying to get him into this match a bit more. And there he is. There he gets into the match with a bang, with that big drop kick there, sending Chris Daniels to the outside.
That's knocked the wind out of his sails.
And not a huge dive, clambering up the ropes, and a huge plancha dive off the top rope.
Oh, I think Doug may have hurt himself there as well. It's a suicidal move.
Well,
I think he may have got clobbered on the ground as well.
He did slip slightly on the top rope, but he still made great contact with Chris Daniels. And yeah, well, Chris Daniels is back on his feet first. That's why we call them high-risk moves. If you hit big. If you miss even bigger. And they're going up the aisle now. What's going on here? Chris Daniels setting up for perhaps a power bomb. Maybe a pile driver on the ramp, we don't know. And a big clothesline there, a short arm clothesline to reverse that power bomb attempt.
You could hear him fall. Music to my ears.
Well, Chris Daniels now staggering back up to the ring. He's taking quite a beating on the outside, that big dive and then that big short clothesline on the rampway. But he charges in, shoulder block, flips right over Doug Williams. Big kick to the guts. What now? Angel wings! Oh! Angel wings! We've seen him finish people with that before. That's one of his big moves. But he's taking his time. What's going on? Doug seems to be almost out of it, and Chris Daniels not making the cover.
They're insulting Steve Linsky. I can't believe this. I think they're implying he's slightly overweight.
Doug's got an adrenaline rush here, though. Chopping Chris in the corner, whips him across.
Come on down!
Big Hurricane Rana. Huge Hurricane Rana out of the corner. Chris Daniels back up to his feet now. Big clothesline, double clothesline there. Both men down.
Well, let's have a look at those moves again, because
there it is. Jumps up, head between the legs, roll backwards. Fans, that's about as good a Hurricane Rana as you'll see. And there with that big double clothesline move.
Kenny, this has really turned into the match we hoped it would.
Well, that's right, Steve. We said from the beginning of the show today that this was going to be a great match. And I think we've been proved right so far as Chris Daniels gets right back up to the top rope. But Doug gets hold of him.
Yeah, come on, Doug!
Throws him 3/4 of the way across the ring. And Steve, what's Steve Knight doing there?
Doug's got him! Doug's got him down for 3! That was longer than 3! That was for longer than 3 seconds!
Steve Knight still distracting the referee.
What is the referee doing?
Doug's back up to his feet now, goes with a clothesline, but misses.
I think Doug actually thought he'd won it! Kenny, I actually think
Chris Daniels with last rights, though!
He won it!
Chris Daniels with last rights. 1, 2, 3!
I don't believe it!
Unbelievable! Doug Williams, he had the cover with the German suplex. The referee was distracted.
Stevie Knight there distracted the referee. Doug had the fallen angel down for way longer than 3 seconds.
Steve Knight there telling everyone how smart he thinks he is as he skips back to the locker room. Chris Daniels motioning the belt round his waist. He thinks he's going to be the next TV champion. Doug Williams is lying in the ring, not quite sure what happened there.
I demand justice! I can't believe that, but I'll tell you that the anarchist actually thought he'd won it.
Well, I don't know about that. The referee was late making the count. We don't know quite what happened.
I want to see another look. I want to take another look at that.
And here we see it, Steve Morgan. Hot stuff Stevie Knight, feeling insulted after the events last week with Doug Williams and Steve Linsky. Gets up on the ring apron, distracts the referee. And here we see it. Chris Daniels then got a hold of Doug Williams. Last rights. And as we know, that's it. It's all over. 1, 2, 3. Chris Daniels takes the 10th spot in the title tournament. Doug Williams has to go in number 1.
I can't believe we've witnessed these scenes here this evening, Kenny. I simply cannot believe it. And for Doug Williams having to enter that 10-man tournament in the first position, you are talking crisis, crisis, crisis.
So for the anarchist Doug Williams and for Steve Linsky, it's their worst nightmare come true. And it's clear that for Stevie Knight, The insult from last week was not forgotten. Now the Anarchist faces an uphill battle when he enters the UWA TV title 10-man tournament right here in the weeks to come. Next week, however, we've got Grand Nanawa against his Michinoku Pro stablemate, Tiger Mask. So please join us then. We'll see you next week.